Get ready to have your minds blown because today, we're diving headfirst into the world of colossal machinery. Welcome to the world of automotive marvels, where engineering meets sheer insanity. Ever wondered what kind of beast boasts a bucket large enough to swallow a 12-car garage whole? Get ready for the ultimate automotive marvel, unveiling the most insane, colossal, and extraordinary creation ever. Meet the titan of the mining world, Big Muskie. This giant stands tall, nearly 22 stories high, and tips the scales at a whopping 13,500 pounds. Imagine the power. But here's the kicker. Big Muskie isn't just huge, it's a walking dragline, a monstrous excavator that could gobble up houses like they're snacks. To put into perspective how huge Big Muskie is, its bucket is as huge as the size of a 12-car garage. But wait, there's more. Big Muskie's bucket alone could fit 2 Greyhound buses inside it. It's not just massive, it's jaw-droppingly mind-blowing. In the year 1966, a monumental endeavor was set in motion by the Central Ohio Coal Company. Their sprawling 110,000-acre mine property, nestled in hilly terrain, demanded a colossal solution for coal extraction. But they had a vision that would lead them to create an awe-inspiring giant, a machine that would go down in history as Big Muskie. The vision of Big Muskie began to take shape under the skillful hands of engineers and craftsmen at the renowned Bucyrus-Erie Company. These experts meticulously designed and constructed the massive components that would come together to form this industrial titan. As the years rolled on, by 1969, the colossal monster was ready for action. But getting Big Muskie to its designated location was no small feat either. It took a staggering 340 rail cars and 260 trucks to transport the massive parts to the mine. Fun fact, if you were to line up all those rail cars and trucks end to end, you'd have a convoy stretching for miles. It demanded an astounding 200,000 man-hours, equivalent to almost 23 years of relentless labor for a single person. Yes, you heard that right, 23 years. You might marvel at the sheer size of Big Muskie, but brace yourselves because the jaw-dropping power needed to operate this giant will leave you utterly stunned. This colossal machine was a true titan of its time, demanding an astonishing 13,800 volts of electricity to awaken its massive power. But what did it take to feed this electrifying appetite? Big Muskie's thirst for power was equivalent to the electricity needs of an entire town. That's right, this mammoth of machinery consumed a jaw-dropping amount of energy, roughly matching the combined power needs of approximately 27,000 homes. The power was supplied to the dragline through a trailing cable, which in turn fed 18 1,000 horsepower and 10 625 horsepower DC electric motors. But with great power came great expense. The operating costs of Big Muskie soared to astronomical heights, reaching tens of thousands of dollars per hour in electricity expenses alone. The mining company had to negotiate special agreements with local Ohio power companies in order to cover these expenses. Did you know that nighttime was the most cost-effective period for this electrifying giant? That's because nighttime rates per kilowatt hour were significantly lower than daytime rates. Well, Big Muskie was one heck of a giant, and it sure had its glory days. For a solid 22 years, it was like the king of the sandbox, scooping up over 600 million cubic yards of dirt and uncovering a whopping 20 million tons of good old Ohio brown coal. But like all good things, its retirement party eventually came around in 1991. You see, Big Muskie was a power-hungry beast. Electricity costs kept on climbing, and that hungry giant was gobbling up kilowatts like there was no tomorrow. The electricity bill alone was probably bigger than many house payments. It's like trying to feed a bottomless pit, and it just doesn't make sense anymore. So, as much as we all loved Big Muskie and its record-breaking dragline feats, it had to hang up its gigantic boots. It became clear that being the biggest and baddest didn't always mean being the most profitable. And that's how Big Muskie went from a mining legend to a retired giant of the past. In 1999, Ohio's Big Muskie woke from its slumber, thanks to the Surface Mining Control and Reclamation Act. This law demanded a cleanup, sparking passionate pleas from fans, history buffs, and museum lovers. Should this giant become a museum masterpiece? But alas, a different destiny awaited. Big Muskie faced the scrapyard, fetching a hefty $700,000 in metal scrap. The colossal bucket, the lone survivor, defied the odds and now graces Miners Memorial Park in Bristol, Ohio, standing tall and proud.